Welcome back, Truth Seeker. One of the top news stories today is that Russia targeted a train station where refugees were with missiles that killed many people. And today is Friday, April 8th, 2022, 183 days after Vladimir Putin's birthday. And we're going to get to why that matters. But I just want to go back to 2 days ago. We were talking about the latest Russia-Ukraine headlines at that time. And not to mention, if you weren't here, I did predict that on February 22nd, you would see things pop off with Russia and Ukraine. We knew it was coming when Biden and Putin met about Ukraine on Pearl Harbor Day. Finally got a prediction for the date, February 22nd, the exact date. Things popped off, and energy prices soared across the world, which have continued to soar since then. But and this is another new, year after year, day after day, making correct predictions because we understand the way news is scripted to steer the herd that is the masses down the path of an agenda. And that agenda has a name. It's called Agenda 2030. It's called Agenda 21. It's called the Great Reset. And who's behind all this? Again, the Jesuits. The same things I explain every day, the same things I made countless videos about, written a number of books about. And let's just listen to what I said 2 days ago about looking out for April 8th, and we'll just see how it all comes together. Watch this.
See what they do with Putin in 2 days. I have a feeling it's going to get real interesting. I mean, they're doing something every day, but I have a feeling 2 days from now, April 8th is going to be more interesting than most other days. And the reason why is because it's April 8th, 4-8, where Russia equals 48, and it'll be 183 days after Putin's birthday. We've been talking about this. Vladimir Putin equals 183, Order Out of Chaos equals 183, Pearl Harbor equals 183. Remember, Biden and Putin met on Pearl Harbor Day to discuss Ukraine. So we'll see what they got for us on April 8th.
Okay, so what's the story today on April 8th? Targeting with missiles civilians at a train station. And again, from Putin's birthday to April 8th is 183 days, just like I said. And guess what? In the language of Gematria, just running the alphabetic order in reverse, missile strikes 183. That's the headline today, right? Missile strike 183. Vladimir Putin 183. Pearl Harbor, like Biden and Putin met on Pearl Harbor Day to discuss Ukraine, 183. And by the way, Gematria is based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards. So those three values are with the alphabetic order in reverse. Forwards, Order Out of Chaos is 183. In reverse, it's 222. And remember, that was part of the reason I predicted February 22nd things would pop off, because that is the Jesuit motto, Order Out of Chaos. If you haven't read my last book, Number Games 9/11 to Coronavirus, again, from the day that 9/11 happened to the coronavirus pandemic was declared was exactly 222 months later, and not arbitrarily. Wuhan coronavirus is 222. New York's 222. World Economic Forum's 222, which is behind both of them. Like the World Trade Centers. Like how in 1968 World Trade Center construction began and coronavirus was coined. And 911 was made the National Emergency Dialing Code. And the Club of Rome was established by the Rockefellers, who are Jesuits, who also started the World Trade Center project. Again, it's a Jesuit network that's doing this to us every day. All of this began in the 16th century. Well, it probably really began before then, but the Jesuits have been doing it this way, since the 16th century. And that's the point I made in my first book. This is my second book. Pretty soon you'll have my third book. Well, hopefully you will. You want things in print at this day and age because my YouTube channels, they can disappear overnight as they have 20 sometimes, thanks to censorship. A book, that can disappear too, honestly, if you don't take care of it. There's a guy, I had to send him a free copy. He said he brought his book to work, he was sharing it with people, and he left it on his desk at lunch, and when he came back, the book was gone. Somebody stole the book from him. So, again, your physical belongings, they can disappear, but it's not as easy as, Google just deleting everything in cyberspace, so. And again, I mean, day after day, guys, this goes on every day. Every day. I predicted yesterday. What did I predict for yesterday? Back in February, I said, don't be surprised if Trump or Biden gets his first Supreme Court justice on April 7th, just like Trump did. 4-7, because judge equals 47, gavel 47, Ketanji 47. Neil McGill Gorsuch, April 7th, 2017, Trump's first Supreme Court justice. April 7th, 2022. Ketanji Brown, who can't even identify the difference between a man and a woman. Can't see that this is a joke? By the numbers? I'll show you what else is a joke, you guys. I'll show you what else is a joke. This was just brought to my attention that this tweet was just made by high-impact flicks. Somebody was trying to show him about Ketanji Brown Jackson yesterday coming in and saying that she is proof of the hope and the dream and, the transition since the period of slavery when we're really still all a nation of slaves. All of us. Doesn't matter what color we are. We're all slaves to this big slave ship. But somebody's trying to show him the significance of 113. So Brian responds, could there also be as many positive and good words that equal 113? If so, what would the significance of 113 be? Again, Brian keeps doing these little things to try and undermine Gematria. Again, all things are good and bad, but, this is really something Brian should be teaching his audience as well as everyone else in the truth community because, again, 113 is a specific number to deception in the Talmud. This is the negative side of it, and a lot of things that have to do with dishonesty have 113 encoded, including the words coronavirus pandemic 113 declared on March 11th. And then Brian, not only does he undermine the truth, he's practicing the art of censorship and speaking in code and speaking just the way Google wants us, making up our own words and phrases because he's afraid to lose his t-shirt sales. Brian, Lil Lizzie over there who's dying from cancer supposedly in your family, I hate to say supposedly. I mean, it's sad if it's true. It's true of a lot of children, but just the kind of person you are, it's hard to know if it's really someone in your family that's dying for cancer who you're trying to raise $150,000 for, or if you're just trying to add on top of your t-shirt sales. But, again, the reason children are going to continue to die from needless stuff is because people don't have the courage to speak up about what's wrong and because they are afraid of being censored and outcast. And again, you're modeling all the wrong things over there, modeling ignorance and half-truths and, again, making videos like, I'm not sure Gematria is really relevant. I don't think it's relevant. I think it's kind of misleading. as he's wrong about everything. As he blames all the wrong people, Zionist banksters, who he blames everything for. It's the Zionist banksters. Yeah, okay. It's not to say that they're an innocent party, but they're owned by the mob, which comes out of Italy with the Jesuits. So, anyway. Every day with Gematria, you can just see through the script, politics, news program. And that's the thing, too. Brian uses news programming to his benefit in his own talking points when he can, and uses the fear of the media and the division. Did you see his work on the George Floyd thing? Totally played by the PSYOP. He loves when the news talks about food shortages. He does an extra 30-minute commercial on buying basement snacks. Again, you guys, any channel that was allowed to grow to 500,000 subscribers in the truth community should have a big red flag up. Take it from me. I've been deleted twice as I approached 100,000. Never been able to get even close back to it without getting deleted. I've been lately getting deleted every time I get back to about 20,000 subscribers. So, and meanwhile, Brian can't figure out why he needs to help share Gematria. I don't know why, but then he keeps trying to undermine it. It's just, you guys, there's criminals around us. And again, just check another box, millionth correct prediction, that we'd see some kind of more significant headline. And think about it, this is one of the more significant headlines, targeting refugees with missiles. I think this is probably the worst one yet. And just like I said, just watch. 183 days after Putin's birthday, they'll have something. Missile strike. Dozens killed and injured in train station missile strike. And man, look at the evidence there. So it looks like the missile strike burned up the old vehicles, but the building's untouched. Wow. God forbid I question anything. The art of war, the theater of war, the first casualty of war's the truth. We'll leave it there for now. Till next time, Truth Seeker.